What's going on, Saints fans? It's Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, and coming up here on today's show, we're going to try to get into all of the news and rumors going on around the Saints head coaching staff, even somebody with, Sean Payton. And then at the very end of today's show, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit here about Michael Thomas. Now, when I came into work today, my bosses, they looked at me and they go, dude, no way that you get 500 likes in this video. So I was like, all right, let's do this. Hold my beer. I'm going to prove you all wrong. This video is going to get 500 likes. So please do not let me down and go ahead and smash that like button. The top rumor circulating right now around the NFL and honestly even the New Orleans Saints is the possibility of head coach Sean Payton leaving New Orleans coming up here in 2022. Now, the report came out that Payton has not committed to returning to the Saints despite him having 3 years left on his contract. And I honestly don't even know if I remember a time when Payton wasn't the head coach. Now, sure, I was born in 93, and Payton's been there since 2006. So, I was literally only, 13 years old the last time somebody else named Sean Payton was the head coach here. But at the end of the day, I get the idea that he might not return. And if you follow a lot of Chat Sports content, we were talking to Jane Slater on the Cowboys report, and she went ahead and said that, hey, Payton might not return to New Orleans. So when you hear sources from our side of the staff hearing that, and then you see even more people talking about it, originally this was a rumor. Then anytime you say, well, there's a lot of smoke, there might be fire, you're starting to see more and more smoke around the idea of Payton potentially not coming back. Now, there was a story out there that Payton, the NFL Network, where they've been trying to get in contact with him. The biggest reason why they haven't gotten in contact with him is because, hey, he's on vacation right now. And I don't know about you, sometimes when I go on vacation, I put my phone away, I put certain things away. So, that could be a major reason why he's not responding to people in terms of, are you going to be the next head coach? Now, Ian Rapoport, in an article today, broke down some interesting things about the future of the head coach for New Orleans. He said it would be highly unlikely for Payton to coach another team in 2022. Sources say, rather, this would be a mini retirement to recharge for a year after a season several people close to him described as incredibly challenging and difficult. In this scenario, the Payton era likely would be over in New Orleans. If he returned to coaching, it's expected it would be for another organization. Now, I know this might be a little bit hard to read underneath, but what I was trying to say is this. Bruce Arians kind of did this whole thing back in 2017 with the Arizona Cardinals, and then he returned in 2019 to coach the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So if Sean Payton does decide to move on, one of the sources or one of the people that Rapoport mentioned was, hey, Dennis Allen, he could end up taking over as the interim head coach down there in New Orleans. Now, what Chat Sports is all about is giving you guys the news, giving you guys the latest rumors, but it's also all about trying to be interactive. So here's the question that I want every single person to go down in the comments and answer. Will Sean Payton coach the Saints in 2022? I want you to go ahead and type Y for yes, or I want you to go down in the comments section and type N for no. Personally, I think that he is still going to remain in New Orleans, but these rumors are definitely something to watch. I just find it hard to believe when you look at his contract that he's got 3 years and he's got literally about $45 million left. I just don't know how you turn down $45 million. Maybe Sean's made enough money where he could do it. Hey, I get it. But $45 million is a lot of money. Now, I will also say this morning on Sunday, Fox Sports came out with a report that they are actually targeting Sean Payton to take over one of the gigs that Troy Aikman is doing in case, he decides to leave. So when you hear that now, even other people outside of the NFL are targeting Sean Payton. All I'm saying is this. If he's not the head coach, there is at least a little bit of a possibility. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. I do want to give a major shout-out to everyone who is already subbed. I know we have a lot of people that work on this channel, whether it's me, whether it's Tom. One of the guys that works always behind the scene, he's a big-time Saints fan. His name's Trace. And we all want to say thank you for everyone who has already gotten this channel to 3,000 subs. But if you find yourself looking for news, find yourself looking for rumors, hit that sub button and turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss a thing. Now, let's also talk about some other things going on here around the Saints because Jeff Ireland, he interviewed for the Bears GM job. Dennis Allen is on the short list for D.C. and Chicago. And we're also going to be breaking down if would Mike Zimmer actually be a halfway decent D.C. candidate for the New Orleans Saints. Now, that's also going to be something that, we break down each of these things. And then we're also, like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about Michael Thomas and what exactly can be the future for him. Now, when you think about Ireland and Allen, maybe this could be a potential package deal to go to Chicago, which definitely is even more interesting consider the fact of everything that we just talked about around Sean Payton. Now, Ireland, he did not receive a second interview for the Bears, but it's definitely something to at least think about. Ireland's going to be a very popular name, I think, among a lot of teams right now, considering the fact that there's 4 NFL teams right now looking for a new GM. So when you hear some of that stuff, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Nick Underhill on Twitter on, I believe this is January 20th, said, Saints defensive coordinator Dennis Allen is interviewing with the Bears next week, per source. So again, there's a lot of pieces here that if you're the New Orleans Saints and you're the coaching staff, like, wow, man, we could be without a lot of people. Now, John Singler on a potential coaching losses said, Allen at 49, interviewed the opening Miami Dolphins job in 2019 and the vacant Philadelphia Eagles position in 2020, and he has only seen his star rise higher since then. His defense was among the NFL's best this season, and it should draw more attention in the days and weeks ahead. His 3-year run on the then Oakland Raiders head coach didn't go well. His Raiders teams went 8-28, and Allen was dismissed 4 games into his 3rd season, but he's obviously learned a lot from the experience from returning to Sean Payton's staff in New Orleans. So what do y'all think here? Will Dennis Allen leave the Saints? I want you to go ahead and type L for leave, or I want you to go ahead and type S for stay. Do you think that Allen is going to end up leaving the New Orleans Saints? Now, if he does decide to leave, a name that's been brought up here, I've seen a lot on Twitter, on Instagram, and some other people writing about it, are Mike Zimmer, and could he be the future Saints defensive coordinator? Now, he was recently fired as the Minnesota head coach, and I honestly think that there are certain people who are built to be head coaches and certain people built to be DCs. Not saying that Zimmer, is a DC only. I think he's had good stints, obviously, as a head coach, but he has a great defensive mind. He's a tough physical dude. I think he would fit in perfectly with this Saints overall team. Also, good friends with Sean Payton, which obviously helps. Now, if Sean Payton decides to leave, what exactly does that mean? But if they go ahead and they hire Zimmer, if Sean Payton decides to leave, you guys know what's going to happen. We're going to be making a video here on the channel, so you can always make sure that you're subbed. Make sure that those notifications are turned on, because the offseason is when stuff gets wild. It's when trades happen. It's when free agency goes down. We're going to have a lot of draft videos, and on top of that, yes, all this head coaching drama is going to continue to rock and roll. Now, if anybody out there needs a brand new Saints hoodie, we got some on sale. All you got to do is go to chatsports.com/Saints hoodie. That link is going to be available for y'all in the comments and in the description of this video. Now, we have a whole bunch of hoodies, and honestly, there's even a lot more than what you see on screen is also going to be available at that link. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're a child and you need a brand new New Orleans Saints hooded sweatshirt, we got you covered. It's chatsports.com/Saints hoodie. There is at least one of these that I believe is up to 50% off, so just keep that in mind. You're going to get a good deal no matter what. All right, y'all, so we're going to continue this show rocking and rolling here on with this New Orleans Saints news and rumors. Now, one of the things that we are going to get into again is around Mike Zimmer, whether or not he would be a good fit from top to bottom with New Orleans, which, I get. Now, Trace, who was the one that ended up making the show, and I came on here and I want to give my opinion. Trace thinks that Mike Zimmer would be a good hire here for New Orleans as a DC, but no disrespect, Trace, I care about y'all. I want to know what you guys have to say. I want you to type H for hire or type D for don't hire. Do you think that Mike Zimmer would be a good defensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints? Now, he would tell y'all to type H for hire. I'm actually on the other boat where I would type D for don't hire, simply because he did not have a good ending in Minnesota. Yes, his defenses were good from 2014 to 2019. This past season, not good whatsoever. And it was also said that he literally didn't tell any of his players that he left. And a lot of other sources say that Mike Zimmer does not want to coach anymore. Now, the final story coming up here is around Michael Thomas. And I saw this article about Michael Thomas being the key to success in New Orleans on the offensive side of the football. And this, I think we would all agree, is probably the worst offensive season that we've seen underneath Sean Payton. They didn't have a single game over 300 yards in terms of passing. The Saints were the only team in the NFL. Even Alvin Kamara, his effectiveness was very limited. So I saw an article saying Michael Thomas is the key to the Saints offense, which I don't know if I 100% agree with, which we'll break that all down for you. Now, this year, obviously, didn't play, was hoping that he would be able to. Last season in 7 games was injured. He had 40 catches, 438 yards, no touchdowns, 11 yards per catch. I mean, this is also coming off his 2019 season where he broke Marvin Harrison's single-season record for 149 catches in a season, which Thomas is an incredible athlete. But to say that he's the number one reason why the Saints offense struggled this season, I think is absolutely ludicrous. It's the quarterback. When you don't have Drew Brees anymore, believe it or not, that's going to hurt your offense. I thought the team looked pretty good. You were 5-2 with Jameis Winston. He then goes down with an injury. Michael Thomas wasn't the reason why the offense struggled. It hurt, but it was because you couldn't find a reliable quarterback. So from a scale from 1 to 10, how important is Michael Thomas to this offense? 1, he's not important whatsoever. 10, he is literally the key piece. I'm going to go ahead and say like a 4 or 5. He's a top receiver when he's healthy, but all the drama going on around Michael Thomas, I'm sorry, I'm kind of sick of him at this point.